Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to get started on today's reading right away. I hope everybody is doing well. Let's see what popped out of the deck. Oh, the devil. This should be a very interesting reading. All right, let's see what we got. Interesting. Very interesting, guys. This looks and feels like some kind of tremendous, powerful, energetic reading I have here for my beautiful Aquas. Okay, stick with me on this one, guys. All right, so we have the Ten of Wands here. And next to the Ten of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles. I don't want to jump too far ahead. Let's talk about this strife, okay? This burden, if you will, okay? So looking at the rest of the cards, I just got the whole big picture. It came in really, really quick. All right, so I'm going to tell you what I just got, okay? Instead of going through all of these cards, I am going to go through them. But before I forget what I just got, let me just give this to you. This is about your struggles of the past, Aquarius. This is about what is coming in for you is going to be something so different and so miraculous and beautiful that you are just going to be in shock, basically, okay? So the smoke is clearing from your past struggles. This is your moment of divine alignment, okay? With the World card, the world is going through trials and tribulations. And this is also in this layout, it's in regard to you learning your lessons. You have learned them well, and now you're going into a period of time where you're going to reap the rewards of your work that you've put in, okay? So you've worked really hard. You should be very proud of what you've achieved thus far. And like I said, this is your moment, guys, of divine alignment where you have not just endured, but you've evolved into the person that you've become, which is someone very strong and amazing. You went through this transformation and you came out the other side with this super strength. Okay, so having integrated the difficult lessons of the past, you're no longer a student of hardship, but a master of your own destiny. Prepare to receive, Aquas, as the energy you've expended is returning to you now tenfold. Okay, so let me just go back here and explain some things. So here, this is the card, this is the burdens that you went through, okay? This is you pushing through, getting through, no matter what happened to you. You managed to push forward, okay, and did what you had to do to get through each and every one of those difficult situations. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is a big change coming in. The Queen of Pentacles is basically about, bringing yourself into this high social status, prosperity, and wealth. That's where you wanted to be, and that is where you're headed with this transformational card here, okay? So you've gone through the lessons, and you've gone through this huge transitional period of time that you came out the other side of with, a lot of strength, and also the World card representing all of your strife. And now you are about to be rewarded. The universe is going to reward you tenfold. Okay, you are being seen, Aquas. Don't feel alone. Don't feel like nobody is with you. Instead, turn into yourself and connect with spirit, and know that you're always with spirit. Spirit has an unconditional love for you, and if you tap into that and you know that it's there, you will feel it. Okay, I feel it all the time. That's why I don't mind being alone. All right, victory is yours. It's already yours. This is all in the pipeline. This wealth, this prosperity, this abundance, this happiness, this elation, all these beautiful emotions. This is not just about money. This is going to be like a complete victory for you guys, okay, in all aspects, because you have the world here again. You have the world twice, guys. So again, this is, them confirming, we see you. We've seen the tough times, the hard times, and now you're going to feel like you're going to know this is a reward, because the things that are coming for you, you've never experienced before. They're going to be amazing. Okay, after this reading, there's a couple things I came across that I will let you know. Hopefully I'll remember. And these things I came across were very amazing things, okay? Amazing, like things you've never seen or heard of before, probably. All right, the door to personal healing and happiness is already open, guys. This is open to you now. You can tap into this anytime you want. Okay, so you can do it through meditation, or you can just do it in the way that you do your when you're trying to manifest something. You can manifest your personal healing and happiness in now. You can just ask for it, or just, tell yourself, my intention right here is to manifest in my health and healing and happiness, okay? And then over here, they have the card of abundance here. So there's no doubt in what this reading is about, guys. It's about your trials and tribulations being seen. You're receiving tenfold now, and the what you're going to be receiving is here. It's abundance, okay? And I just love this card. It's just very simplistic, but you can see the beauty in it. It's just, when you look into this card, you can just feel the calmness and the beauty and the quiet. It just, I don't know, for me, when I look at it, I feel it. It feels quiet to me. So if there's energy coming from this card, and there's energy in everything. It is a quietness and a calmness, and a card of beauty. All right. So let's move on and see what other messages Spirit may have for us today. I'm going to add a fifth card. There it is. There's the Strength card. And I kept misunderstanding this card. I was looking at it and I kept seeing it as the Strength card for some reason, and it is the very next card that popped up in the deck. So that's why I did mention, before I even saw this card that I just pulled out, that after your trials and tribulations, I was saying that you went through this transformation, and I pointed to this card and said that your transformation, you've come out the other side stronger. And I caught myself, all right? But I was seeing, in some manner, the next card before it appeared. All right, so pretty cool. You can do the same thing, by the way, guys. You all have these abilities. Start practicing. You know what's fun? I always ask my daughter, or I ask my friend who's very high vibrating, to think of a color, or I'll think of a color, and then I'll say, whenever you think you have it, text me or let me know. And this is a game you can play. It's not something you're being scored on. It's just practice, okay? Practice makes perfect. So, all right, you'll be surprised by the answers you get with that little game. Here I'm picking up on a masculine today who is feeling stuck about something. I'm seeing a lot of stuckness here. We have the Six of Pentacles. This is a stuckness regarding money. All right, so this card represents, it can be about wealth and prosperity, but it's also about maybe needing some assistance financially. So in this reading, that's what I'm picking up, okay? A stuckness. You're needing assistance financially. You need something more to come in. All right. And if this is you, please comment below the video. I'm seeing something positive over here and another card of stuckness. So, but what this is representing here is these two cards side by side are, you know, this is about abundance and happiness that may be missing right now. Maybe not in your sight just yet, but it's incoming, okay? Because there's more you can do to achieve this. Spirit is saying you're not really stuck. The Hangman tells us we can untie that ankle and move away anytime we like, okay? So some of us might be just in a mood or a mode where we just are having a hard time feeling like we want to move forward or creating some kind of action to get moving on that. You know, I understand it's daunting to think about a second job if you're needing that, or picking up more hours at work. I get it. We're so tired. We're so exhausted. But I feel like we're in the last push, guys. This is the last push until, you know, within the next weeks or months, by this summer, we're going to see some kind of financial gift coming into us, okay? I'm not saying we're going to be a millionaire, but we're going to get a boost. We're going to get some help or something that we are deserving of, something that is coming in for you, Aquariuses, that is going to be a gift, okay? And it's meant to, it's not a handout, okay? It's going to be something meant to lift you up and keep you going for a little while longer until that next gift. Once the first gift comes in, you can expect the flow to continue. All right, so things might seem a little all over the place right now, a little chaotic. Many of you might have started your day out today with some chaos, okay? And I see that I've talked to a handful of people already this morning who are really craving peace, okay? And they're losing patience. They're having a hard time being around others, okay? They have no patience for anybody, especially people that are negative or are putting their bullshit on them, all right? And that's probably most of the people surrounding us, I find, okay? That's why I hibernate. I stay in the house. As soon as I leave the house, or as soon as I put myself out there and I start talking to people, I feel like they're scratching and clawing at me, like they just are asking for something, or they're just in a negative frame of mind, and I can feel the pull, you know, like I'm feeling pretty good, but I could feel that pull toward negativity because of what they're talking about and how they're feeling. So, you know, you have to be a little selfish right now and to protect yourself from these negative entities and negative persons or what have you. And so we're losing patience for all of the negativity. All right, so I am seeing the Hermit card here. This is actually going to be healthy for a lot of you right now. Don't let anybody tell you that you're spending too much time alone and it's not good and yada yada yada. Spending time alone is when you do your best thinking and your best inner work. Okay, you cannot do the work when you're with people constantly, or if you have background noise around constantly, you know, you're watching TV, or the TV's in the background, the radio's in the background in your car or whatever. You're at work, you're distracted. You need this time right now, especially because we're making this big jump, this big change, moving into this fifth dimension. All right, Spirit is saying to focus, guys, focus very hard on your happiness. All right, just worry about, I mean, I'm not saying don't feed your children and, you know, just ignore your wife or your husband, but you know what I'm saying. Nurture the crap out of yourself. Love yourself. Pay attention to yourself. Do not look to others. You're noticing, and tell me if I'm wrong, but you're noticing that when you're looking to others to feed your heart, to feed you something you're craving emotionally, you're getting backstabbed, or you're getting negative energy, and that's not what you're needing. Only you can give yourself what you need, okay? Even love, even self-love. You can just continue to continuously nurture yourself. Make a meal and tell yourself you're cooking this meal to love and nurture yourself. Light a candle. Light it 5 times a day, and each time say, I'm lighting this candle to love and nurture myself and bring in peace. Okay, so it works, guys. Okay, stay in that state of gratefulness and nurture the crap out of yourselves. I'm seeing love here. I'm seeing somebody is going to approach you. I'm seeing that this person is going to just feel like the energy of this person is going to knock your socks off. You're going to feel their energy. You're going to feel their happy vibe, their positivity, and you're going to instantly be attracted to that. Okay, your windows and doors are open. Okay, your antenna, if you're single, your antennas are up, waiting for someone who's vibing where you are at to come in and, you know, have this beautiful new love affair, this new kind of love that you have not experienced as of yet. This is going to be a new beginning for you, okay? One that's going to bring in a lot of happiness and satisfaction, all right? I'm also seeing a lot of you a lot of you are thinking and spending time taking, even if it's an hour or two a day. A lot of you are putting in time. You're thinking. You're putting in your intuitive abilities on what you want to bring in for yourself. Something new, something fresh. Okay. I feel like a majority of you are now in thinking mode. You're pulling yourself out of that just going through the motions kind of because that is one of the main reasons too, guys, why you're feeling the stuckness. Okay, because we're doing the same thing day in and day out, right? We're getting up, we're taking a shower, we go to work, we'll put the radio on, blah, blah, blah. Not going to go into it because I've said it over and over, but a lot of you are changing that up now, right? If we're going to move like robots through our day, what is going to change? We're not thinking about what we want to change or what would make us happy or what we want to do. I'm seeing that and feeling that change coming on for you. Okay, you guys are realizing now that you have to put some energy behind what you want, and you're manifesting ninjas. You will be able to focus on what you want and start anew on these things that you're coming up with. All right. Guys, even if you're not sure, you have an idea, but you're not sure how to get it or how to approach it, do something, all right? Just like that little fire, take that first baby step towards something you're wanting, and it will attract the next step toward you. You'll figure it out. You'll know. All right, let me see these cards here. I feel like for some of you, you're making some kind of decision on a lover today. It looks like you're thinking of taking a break. And I'm seeing a group of people here. So this is somebody, this is very detailed, okay? So listen up, guys. If this is you, please comment below the video. I feel that someone out there is disliking very much the friends, the people that their partner is hanging out with. You feel that these people are not good for you, and they're not good for the person that you're with. Okay? So in this scenario, you might have you might just be connecting to the disconnect with this partner. All right? In other words, we attract what we are. So if we're still kind of stuck in that third dimension, we're going to attract third dimensionals, okay? So depending on how we're living our lives and the choices we're making, we're attracting the same type of people in. So you may have not seen things before in your partner, maybe by choice, or maybe you just didn't want to because you were craving love, okay? But I do see that you are now thinking of at least taking a break, all right? Or just, you know, possibly, well, you're going to take a baby step here. I feel like you're going to start drifting away, take a little break. You might tell the person you want a break. You're trying to figure out how much further you want to go with this scenario. Now, you've probably already figured out that you cannot control other people, even if it's someone you love, and tell them, you know, who to choose as lovers, friends, whoever, right? But you're definitely seeing right through this, because Aquarius, you're able to do this. You're able to see people's hearts. You're able to feel the energy instantly, all right? And you're noticing that these persons are rubbing off on your person, okay? And you don't want, whatever that energy is, it's bad, and you don't want it, okay? So the devil just showed up. This is going to come between the two of you, okay? So if you're thinking you're going to talk to your significant, or you already did, about switching up their friends or telling them their friends are not good for them, I mean, you could do this, but I'm just saying do it delicately, because they're going to take a huge offense at this. And yeah, because it's kind of like the thing, when you're in it, you don't realize you're in it, right? But I do see this coming between you now. This is something that is not going to benefit you or your significant, but you're not going to get through, unfortunately, according to this reading. And Spirit is saying, remember who you are, all right? You are, you know, someone who should be put on a pedestal, someone who's putting themselves on the pedestal. In other words, you've already done the work. And now the person you're with is starting to pull you back into that third dimension. They're pulling you back in. So you don't want to go backwards, okay? I do see the card of freedom here, all right? Also, this card could have a dual meaning, where you went into this knowing you were taking a risk, but you just kind of pushed that thought aside, okay? So you might have seen a red flag in the beginning, but for whatever reason, you, again, you know, sometimes we haven't been with anyone in a while. We're craving affection. We're craving love. We just don't like being alone. Whatever the reason is, going back to that hangman, you know, you have complete control over your life. Okay, so you can change it up. You can break it off. You can take a break. You can do whatever you want. But, you know, we always have to remember we don't have those controls over others. Others have their own journey, guys. So we all know that we come back here to learn and teach. So maybe the person you're with needed to get this lesson with these friends. So, you know, intervening or trying to change things up for other people could really throw a wrench into their journey. Okay, so that's why we have to be accepting, and we have to see people for who they are right away and know what we're getting into and make a clear decision, right? Because if you're high vibrating and you decide to date someone, find out later they're low vibrating, they're going to pull you back into that third dimensional space, and you're going to backtrack on all that work that you have done for yourself to gain the clarity that you have. All right, I'm seeing balance, I'm seeing clarity, I'm seeing abundance coming in for all of you that are doing the work, okay? I'm also seeing that some of you are still just waking up. Some of you are feeling ignored. You feel you're kind of waiting for someone to come in and help you, pick you up or something, all right? When I tell you that these finances will be coming in sooner or later, I'm telling you that these are not going to be handouts. They're going to be some sort of restitution, if you will. All right. I'm not going to go into all that on the channel. There's a lot of stuff on the net that you can do your own homework and check things out with. Okay. You can do your own research, guys. All right. So we have the Queen of Cups here. This is about you guys. You are so loving and you have these beautiful hearts and you're working hard right now. All right. I'm seeing again, ending things that are no longer serving you for your betterment, okay? So you don't have to break people's hearts. This isn't about, you know, this isn't all about heartbreaking setbacks and, you know, trauma and badness. This is about you leaving behind the things that are no longer serving you, that are bringing you down, that are pulling you down. All right, guys, you have no idea if you have, one or two even negative people around you that are, just see everything like their glass is half empty, everything sucks, nothing good ever happens. Those people they might be good people, but their thought processes are detrimental to anyone who wants to be the opposite of that, who wants to look at life in a positive manner, who wants to move into this fifth dimension where, everything is going to change for you, for your betterment. You can now, right now, in this moment, you can manifest in, guys, if you've worked on yourselves and you feel like you're high vibrating, you can manifest anything and it will come to you within hours or days, okay? And if you try this, and I'm curious to know how it's going to work out for you. So those of you who try that, get back to me, send me a comment, okay? All right, also here, I see a lot of movement. I see a lot of you are moving toward different things in your life, a different way of different than the way you've operated before. You're changing things up, you're moving things, shaking things, and moving toward new things, all right? I'm going to end on this note, but I also promised that at the end, and I did remember this time, to bring up a couple of cool things that I saw that are coming in that are absolutely fifth dimensional, all right? One of them is the flying cars, okay? They're cars, and they kind of look like, a half car, half helicopter, and they're now for sale. If you need a lot of money to buy them, but like everything else, that's amazing. That first comes out, right? This is the first time. It looks like, I think it's named after something in the Jetsons, right? And a lot of you may not know this, but they had to show us what we really had, what was being hidden from us in these movies and cartoons and things. And they were showing us, even in Star Trek. So guess what's coming, guys? All right, but these cars, they fly, and it's going to change our lives drastically as far as transportation goes, and this is just the beginning. Now, these cars, I believe, start at $180 something thousand, right? Which is, for most of us, untouchable. But like everything else, once they're perfected, once they get the kinks out, once people start buying them, like everything else, the price is going to come down, and this is going to be our future, all right? Or a small part of our future. Okay. The other thing I found very interesting, I talked about this on my channel months ago, maybe, about time travel. All right. In one of the, I guess, Trump does these videos with his cabinet members when he's changing laws and things like that. And this was about energy, and they brought up the fact that they have a way of bending time and space. Now, if you know about these things, this sure sounds like time travel to me. Okay, so I bought a book. It's called something like Baron's something Adventures. Baron is the name of Trump's son, and Baron's Marvelous Adventures or something like that. This book was written, I believe, in the 1800s. Don't quote me, but a long time ago. All right. And in this book, it mentions that Baron's father, Trump, says his name, became president. It's crazy. All right. Anyway, I believe it was the New York Post put out an article about time travel, and it says, is Trump a time traveler? All right, so guys, I'm just saying, for those of you who are boo-hooing these miraculous spiritual things that I've been talking about on my channel, I do my research. I'm not going to spread some garbage here on this channel. What I'm talking to you about, you can research it yourself and see for yourself. You better get ready, especially the naysayers. You better understand that, if you're not open-minded and you don't start opening your mind to hear and see fantastical things that are coming in, and they've already begun, all right, you're going to be left behind. You're going to be stuck in that third dimension for the rest of your life. And then you're going to have to reincarnate it and go through all your lessons all over again. You're going to have to go through all those trials and tribulations, maybe different ones, but the rest of us are doing the work. We're not going back into that karmic situation. We're moving forward into 5D. All right, well, that is today's reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. And don't forget, guys, put yourself on a pedestal this weekend. Take care.